Hey, good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be going to the world famous San Diego Zoo. For those of you who don't know about it, world famous, right? But it's in the Balboa Park, San Diego. It's a great facility. It's been around for a long time. It actually came around 1915. They had the Panama, California Exposition in Balboa Park, and some of the animal exhibits, animals were left behind, and so they ended up forming the zoo, and the Zoological Society grew from that. So today we are privileged to have some special preview tickets to the new Children's Zoo. The Children's Zoo was about 61 years old, built, what did that make it, 1960, 1961. And they got a very large gift, and they were able to refurbish it and come up with a brand new children's facility, and it is phenomenal. Hopefully, as you'll see through the video as we're walking through, it's a little over, a couple acres. I think it's just a little over 2 acres, and we were privileged enough to join some employees as they got a little sneak preview before it opened to the public in just a couple of weeks, mid-March of 2022. So when you go to the zoo, San Diego Zoo is known for being very hilly, lots of up and downs. Of course, they have buses and trams that can help you get up and down those hills. But what's nice is the Children's Zoo is on that upper level right when you come through the front gate. And you go through the gate, go to the left, and you'll walk by the reptile house, and you'll see the new Komodo dragon and hummingbird facilities before you get into the Children's Zoo part of it. It's actually known as the Wilderness Outback. I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up the name of it. But basically, it's the wilderness adventure kind of thing. And there's several different houses and areas that you can visit. And this first one we went into was focused on insects. And those of you who don't know, the Safari Park is really known for having which is a part of the San Diego Zoo Society, for having the butterfly exhibit every March. But they're going to be having butterflies here in the Children's Zoo also. And this is really nice how they've developed this insect area with giant walking sticks and just everything that you'd want to see when you go through an insect house. Some of you may not be that excited about it, but I think it's great. Everything's nice at a low level so the children can easily see it, but the adults are just as excited. There's computer tables where you can reenact or play out different scenarios for survival in different habitats. There's high-powered microscopes that you can use. It looks like there's active lab facilities that are going to be going on once it's fully open to the public, and you'll be able to see things. And I really enjoyed this, the live Beehive exhibit, I'll call it. The 2 red windows you see there is an active hive, very large colony of bees, and as you know, we're losing out on our bees, and they have access to the outside, so they can go out and pollinate and come back and build their hive right there in front of everybody. So the Children's Zoo is going to have 4 different environments, or at least it's planned to look that way as you go through it. There's going to be the desert dunes, the wild woods, the rainforest, and the marsh meadows. And it's built on 2 levels. The upper deck primarily has these houses that you can see, the reptile house, the insect house, things like that, with all the little different experiments and information cards for kids to learn about what's going on around them. And it's a great facility. I'm amazed at how nice it is and how well put together for just everyone, adults and children alike. It's a really nice facility. And then there's a lower area where you can do water play and see more animals out in their habitats and stuff like this. But even the computer areas, or the magnifying microscopes, you can go in and draw things on the screen with things that you're looking at through the microscope, and it's just a really great all-around area for the kids. So the cool critter area, we'll come back to this, but this is kind of oriented towards fish, salamanders, and things like that. Got a phenomenal play area, water jets. When we were there, it was a beautiful San Diego day. When isn't a beautiful San Diego day, right? 70 degrees, and kids were just really loving the water fountains, the rope bridge, the slides, the tunnels. Great place to come and burn up some energy and keep everybody busy. And as you go over to the side here, there were actually dryers and areas where people could step off to the side and not really change your clothes, but you could step in front of the air dryers and, get the kids not so soaking wet for the rest of their adventure at the zoo, or reload your stroller and just be ready for the rest of the day. So we were entering the desert environment with the waterfall, and it comes down to the simulated creek, and the creek then winds around to those fountains that you saw earlier. It's just really peaceful, really nice area to be walking around in. And as we get over here, we came more to where we saw some more enclosures where there's the lemurs, the porcupines, we saw groundhogs, there's outdoor turtles and tortoises. There'll be just a little bit of everything that you can see, a chasing fountain for some more water play. To me, this was almost like a zoo within itself. You could spend your whole day here and not see anything else of the park and call it a full day at the zoo, right? It's just a great setup, really nice environment. So I'll be quiet here for a little bit and you can enjoy the scenery. So as we came down to the cool critter area, they had this great little outside marsh. I imagine there's going to be, ducks may come by and visit, but there's filled with turtles and some other reptiles and amphibians. So maybe the ducks don't want to hang around too much. I'm not really sure what's going to happen there, but some great samples. There were turtles up on the logs. And then when we stepped inside, even though it was glassed off, the water theme continued throughout. And we saw all sorts of amphibious creatures through here. And I will pronounce it wrong, but the Waxacatl, I think it's called. And of course, a nice cichlid exhibit. This was my friend for the day, although he wasn't really happy that I was filming him. He kind of tried to spook me off, I think. And it's just a great environment for the kids that want to go back and forth and see everything that's going on under the water. So moving on from the aquarium, we went back into another insect house where there's going to be a huge exhibit of leafcutter ants. And they've built these trees, and you saw the tubes down below here where the ants are going to be able to come up from an inside part of the insect house. And really, this way you can see the way they nest underground and also watch them in action out on the artificial tree, which is just great. We saw them live in Costa Rica, and it was just one of the highlights, I hate to say, of our trip was seeing these giant leafcutter ants moving through the jungle. They even include some castings of old ant nests that they've filled out and formed, so you can see how they physically actually build their nests out in the general public. So we wrapped up our day. Little climb up, one last activity up these sponge hills with the rope climb, and you can tell that it's all designed for the kids. The kids have a great time, but the adults can have just as much fun. And try not to laugh at my oldest there as he loses a shoe going up the hill. So as you exit the children's zoo, you'll see that they've moved the Komodo dragon and the hummingbird exhibits just right outside. It's almost actually all now a part of the same facility. So you've got the children's zoo, the hummingbirds, the Komodo dragons, and the reptile house all right there close together. Everything a kid can want. So that was our morning. If you take the time to visit, I think everybody will have a great time. I'll talk to you guys later.